Hello everyone. Welcome back to the lecture series of financial modeling. Today we are going to learn again two new concepts for financial modeling. So one of the concept is end of the month and second concept will be EDATE. So let's first of all start with the concept of end of the month. Now, sometimes what happens whenever we are doing financial modeling, suppose I say that company has borrowed the money from the bank, let's say on 23rd of September 2024. Now, company has to repay back the money. And whenever the company has to repay back the money, let's say the first installment will start from the last day of the current month. That means right now, if it is 23rd of September 2024, so first installment will be on 30th of September 2024. And similarly, we are going to give every installment on the last day of the month. So whenever we have to give the installment on the last day of the month, so company should be aware of that this is the last date, and on this date I have to pay the installment. So in today's lecture, we are going to see how we are going to calculate the end of the month. So that means I have to calculate end of the month date. So let's see how I'm going to calculate the end of the month date. Let me wrap this. Okay. So now let's say I want to see the end of the month for the 23rd of September 2024. So I'll be using the command EOM. EOM means end of the month. So I'm going to click it over here. Now, it is saying that first of all the start date. So my start date is 23rd September 2024, comma, and it is saying next you have to write the month. So since I want my first installment to be paid on the 30th of September 2024, which means my current month, and all those who are new to finance, you must be aware that whenever you are writing zero means your current month, and if you are writing the one means end of the first month, and second means end of the second month. And if still you are not aware, I have made a video on the annuity and perpetuity. You can go through that, and that you will be aware of how we are going to write the numbering in finance. So right now I want my first installment to be paid at the end of the current month. So I'm going to write 0 over here and bracket close, and you will see the date. Now you can see the date is 30th of September 2024. So that means I'm going to repay my first installment. That means the first payment will be on 30th of September. Now I want next payment in the next month. So that means if my next payment will be in the next month, so next date should be 30th of October. So what I am going to do, if I am going to drag this, now you can see the date is uneven. That means over here it is 30th of September 2024, but over here it comes to be 31st of January 1900. So that means my date is wrong. So again, what you have seen, it has taken end of the month E2. E2 means the command, if I am dragging towards the right, it will take a date which I have mentioned towards the left hand side. So it has taken E2 and then 0. So E2 and then 0, that won't work. So what I am going to do, I have to write it again. Either I will click it over here, and instead of E2, again I'll select this date and comma, I want the next month. So next month means 1. I can write it over here. So you can see the date is 31st of October 2024. But as you are aware that whenever we are doing financial modeling, we have to quick our work. And if I am going to do it manually, it will take my time. So what I am going to do, I am going to write the months over here. So 0, 1, 2. So let's say I want the next few dates. Okay, let me take till the 6th month. So I want the last date till the 6th month. So what I am going to do, I am going to link it over here. Now you can see again end of the month, and instead of writing 0, I'll just click it over here. My answer will be same. So previously what I have done, I have write 0 manually. But now what I am going to do, I have linked this from this 0, from this cell. So that means I am not writing this formula manually, I am linking this formula. Now if I am going to copy this, and then you have to press shift and then the arrow sign, right arrow sign, and then enter. Now you can see if I am going to put arrow over here, again your answers are wrong. So what we have to do now, if I am going to click it over here, it is taking E2. Now why it is taking E2? E2 means previous cell. Your this 0 and 1. Previously what you have seen, we have taken D2 and E2. So now when I am going to click on the next cell, it is going to take E2 and F2. So our answer is wrong because E2 is not a date. Again, if you will click on the next cell, it will take F2 and G2. So that means as we are moving forwards, it is taking the previous cells. So that means that is a wrong concept. Why I am going to get the answer wrong? Because 0 is neither a date, neither 1 is a date. So now what I am going to do? I want to fix this cell. I am saying that calculate the current month end date, next month end date, again next month end date, and all the dates should be with respect to 23rd of September. That means I want end of the month date from 23rd September, 1 month ahead from 23rd September, 2 months ahead from 23rd September, and 3 months ahead from 23rd September. So my date should be fixed. So what I am going to do, instead of D2, I am going to make it fixed. So I am just putting a dollar sign. You can press F4. Now I have fixed this date. Now again I am going to copy this, Control C, press shift, arrow sign, and then enter. Now you will observe the date is fixed. Now what I am saying, if you will click over here, end of the month, this date is fixed. Now you have to calculate end of the month date from 1 month ahead of September. So 1 month ahead is October. So now you can see the date is 31st October 2024. Over here I am saying from this date 2 months ahead. So 2 months ahead is November. So 30th November. Over I am saying 3 months ahead from 23rd September. 3 months ahead is your December. So December. Then January, February, and March. So one thing you have to remember, if you want the date should be fixed, you have to make it static, and the formula for static is put a dollar sign. Hope this is clear how we are going to calculate end of the date. Now suppose my question is that I have taken the loan on 23rd of September 2024, but I am not going to repay back the money from the current date. That means I am not going to repay back the money from the current month end of the date. That means I am not going to repay back the money on 30th September. Let's say my first installment will be 4 months ahead. So my first installment, instead of on 30th September, let's say my first installment is on 31st January 2025. So I want this date to be there. So in that case, I am going to use the formula for EDATE. So now you can see I have taken the date of 13th of your February 2024. I want 4 months ahead. So what I am going to use equals to EDATE. And again I am going to click this date. That means I have selected the date and I will select the month. So I want 4 months ahead date. That means I want the date instead of February, it should be your March is your next month. March, April, May, June. So it should be June. So now let me put it a date format. So now you can see the date is 13th of June 2024. Now if I am going to drag it, now you can see I have written different dates and I want 4 months ahead of these dates. Instead of March, it should be July. Instead of your January, it should be May, and so on. So I can't do the date to be static. I can't fix the date. So right now you will see, observe, I have not put the dollar sign. If I am going to put the dollar sign, let's say I'll just press my F4 over here, I have put the dollar sign, and now I am going to drag it. My date will be same. Now if I'm going to drag it, my date is fixed, I'll get the same date. But right now my dates are different, so I don't have to put the dollar sign over here. So what I am going to do, I am going to remove my dollar sign. Now I have removed my dollar sign. Now what I am going to do, let me delete this. Now if I am going to drag it, it will take the different dates. Why different dates? Because I have not put this date to be static. Now if I am going to press this, it has taken that 4 months ahead from this date. Again 4 months, if I am going to press this, 4 months ahead of the mentioned date. So if you are going to put the dollar sign, it will not take. It will take the same date because you have put the date to be static. You have fixed that date that you want the same answer throughout. So you have to remember, if you want the same answer, put the date to be static. If you want the different answer, so you can remove your dollar sign. Now I can combine these two formulas also. That means end of the month also and EDATE also. Suppose let's say I want end of the month 4 months ahead. So what I am going to do, equals to EDATE and now EMONTH, end of the month, EOM, end of the month. Now I am saying this date, comma 4 months ahead, bracket close, comma 0. 0 will represent the current month, end of the month date. Okay, now let me make it as a date. Now you can see the end of the current date. That means you have taken the loan on 30th of February. Now you want to pay the loan, your first installment is 4 months ahead, and that too on the last day of that month. So you can see it's 30th of June 2024. Now let me drag this. Now you will see the end of the month of each and every month, which is 4 months ahead from your respective date on which you have taken the loan. So in this way, we are going to calculate the date. Whether you want to calculate it for the end of the month, you can interlink it also, or you can calculate separately also for end of the date. That means you can calculate for EDATE when you have to calculate 4 months ahead, 5 months ahead. Or even if you want to combine your EDATE and end of the month, you can also do that. Hope it must be clear how to calculate the end of the month, or you can use the EDATE formula. Whenever we will be doing further exercises for the financial modeling, we will be using all these concepts. So thank you very much for watching this video. We will be again connected in the next video. Thank you.